Okay, Peter, it's time now for me to choose a bat. I'm really keen to get one that suits me. What things should I be considering to make sure I get the right bat for me?
Right. Jim, obviously you're fully grown, so you're going to go from our men's range of bats, full size. The next determinant is to decide what shape you want and what grade of blade you go for. The grade is indeterminate of the way you play. It's to do with how much you want to pay for a cricket bat. So you'd have to decide for yourself how much you want to spend on the bat.
And my level of ability.
Well, yes, it could be that.
Standard cricket.
It doesn't always go like that, though.
Okay.
The main determinant you have to make is what shape of bat suits your play the best, and the shape depends on the sort of shots you play and the wickets you play on, because the amount the ball bounces will determine where you generally hit the ball on the bat. If you play a lot of front foot shots, then you'd prefer a bat with a lower swell. If you play the ball late and cut and pull a lot, then you're hitting the ball later, so the ball has more chance to bounce and you'll hit it higher up on the bat.
So where the sweet spot is really does determine where the type of bat I should be choosing?
Yes, because the bigger mass of the bat is behind where you hit the ball most often. That's what you're trying to achieve.
Okay, so I've now got an idea that I need a bat that is suitable from where the sweet spot is. Balance and pickup, I've heard a lot about that. What does that mean? How will that affect how my choice will be? There's
two things that can determine the pickup, and you shouldn't pick bat on dead weight. That's quite a poor thing to do, really.
And that's just how heavy it is, just lifting it up.
Yeah, you just go, that's how much it weighs. It depends how it feels when you actually pick it up. The first thing is the handle. The handle that goes into the blade can vary by up to 3 ounces. So if you say you want a £2.10 bat, is that with the extra 3 ounces in the handle or the extra 3 ounces in the blade? If it's in the blade, it feels heavier because there's more weight lower down. If it's in the handle, it feels lighter, and that's really one of the determinants of the pickup. The other factor is where the sweet spot is. If the sweet spot's higher up the blade towards the handle, it won't feel as heavy as if it's right down at the bottom.
So the sweet spot is vitally important then, because it really tells me the right sort of bat for my style of cricket. We've got some examples here.
All our shapes are based around where the sweet spot is, so they can have different shapes and look slightly different, but essentially it's where the main bulk of mass of the bat is behind where the ball should strike most often. So you can see here, we've got one here that's quite low down, and then up the other end it's much higher. Now that may not seem that different, but it makes a huge difference when you're actually playing.
And this one here particularly is a lot higher, isn't it? From the one nearest to you, for example. If we put those two together, we can really see there that that's a big difference.
That is a huge difference. This will be suitable for somebody who hits the ball low down, i.e. goes at the ball, wants to hit the ball as soon as it bounces. This is more someone who stays back in the crease and hits the ball later and square of the wicket. It's not to say that the person who used that bat can't play those shots and vice versa. It's just where they hit the ball more often.
More often.
Yes. Yeah.
And where they feel their middle of the bat is, yeah.
Yeah. Also, obviously, if you play on a low flat wicket at home, your home ground, you play there, half the games you play in a season are on that wicket, then you want a low swell. If you play on a wicket that's very bouncy at home, then you want a higher swell.
And there is an index I can refer to?
Yes.
Help me with that?
On all of our 5-star bats, the bat maker determines what he feels is the pickup index, and that goes from 1 to 5. 1 being for somebody who wants to play the ball late, control it, push it through the gaps and manoeuvre the ball rather than bash it to the boundary. Number 5 is the guy who goes in and wants to hit the first ball into the cow yard.
Sounds like me.
Yeah, so you might be a 5, a 4 or a 5 then. If you were Geoffrey Boycott, you'd be probably -1.
Right.
Because you'd just be pushing the ball into the gaps.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, obviously, this is adult bats, but juniors have a slightly different consideration when they come to choose their bats.
All good coaches agree with this, is that the kid has to have a bat that he can play all shots with. If the bat's too heavy or too big, it'll restrict him and lead him into bad habits. We have a recommended bat size chart, which is available in all 5-star dealers, where a child can go in and be measured for the bats that suits him. The junior bats we make are an identical copy of the men's bats. So if his favourite player is, let's say, Jonathan Trott, and he wants an icon, then he goes and picks an icon boys bat, which is an identical shape but smaller.
Relative to his size then?
Yeah.
It's not just a small bat?
No.
Okay, so important thing here is then that I obviously need to go somewhere to find my bat, and the rest of my gun and more equipment. Where are the best places to go?
Well, the first stop really is to look on our website, and on there you'll find a list of 5-star dealers. We have a whole number of 5-star dealers throughout the country, and to sign up to the 5-star dealership they need to have a good spread of all our products, not just cricket bats but also the other products, the helmets, the protective wear, clothing, footwear. And if you go to the one nearest to you, then I'm sure you'll find a very good selection of our product.
Okay, thank you.
Pleasure.